Welcome back to the Lumios Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be talking about the biggest mysteries that we have from the Johto region. I've been doing this series for a while now. There's a lot of, in every region, there's some kind of mystery, there's some kind of questions that we still have. Honestly, it wouldn't be fun for theorists like myself to make theory videos if everything was answered. So this is a good thing that there are mysteries. But we're now at the Johto region, and so that's exactly what we'll be diving into today. Starting with the biggest one, I think this is the question I'd probably most want answered, and that is, what were the legendary beasts originally? The legendary beasts, that was, of course, Raikou, Suicune, and Entei. We know that they weren't always Raikou, Suicune, and Entei. They actually were these Pokemon that died in the Burn Tower when the Burn Tower, burned, and they were resurrected as Suicune, Raikou, and Entei by Ho-Oh. A really common theory has been that these Pokemon were previously evolutions, specifically the Kanto, the Gen 1 evolutions, Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. The types do line up, so the idea is like Jolteon became Raikou, Vaporeon became Suicune, and Flareon became Entei. But then things got a little messy, First off, that was never confirmed. There was just really the typing thing and the fact that the Kimono girls are in Ecruteak City and they use evolution, so that seems to be an important part of Johtonian lore and legend and culture. But it was still all speculative. And then we got Scarlet and Violet, where we got the reveal of the paradoxes, that is Walking Wake, Raging Bolt, and Gouging Fire. And these were three Pokemon that were paradox forms of Suicune, Raikou, and Entei, and specifically they were past paradoxes. And the game at first told us that past paradoxes were ancestors to modern-day Pokemon. So that means that Suicune was once Walking Wake, Entei was once Gouging Fire, Raikou was once Raging Bolt. So that kind of put a big hole in the evolution theory for a bit there, because, they don't look anything like the evolutions, they just look like Suicune, Raikou, and Entei. But then we got the reveal that these paradox Pokemon basically are not from the past or the future, but are from alternate timelines. So alternate, futures for the paradoxes, and then alternate timelines pass for the past paradoxes. So, the evolution theory has been revived, but it's still, it's not anything concrete, right? We have nothing in the game telling us it's these. We do have a silhouette of these Pokemon in the Burn Tower, and they don't look a thing like Raikou, or like Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. They also don't look a thing like the paradoxes, but they are supposed to be, I think, just kind of silhouettes. Like, I don't think this is like the actual Pokemon, really. This is kind of like a vague silhouette, so that we don't know what the Pokemon is, right? If that makes sense. Now we get into some character stuff. There's a lot of characters in Johto that are really, really cool, and I want more information on them, because some of it, it's not really fulfilling, I guess. These characters just need a little bit more. So first off, we have Silver. Silver is one of the most beloved rivals in the franchise because, well, he's a jerk. And he actually got a lot of more in-depth backstory in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where it was confirmed that Giovanni, the leader of Team Rocket, the founder of Team Rocket, was Silver's father. And that was really, really cool, but that begs the question of, who is Silver's mother? There's a lot of theories on this. The biggest one really is that Silver's mother is Ariana, because Ariana is both a Team Rocket member, so she knows Giovanni, and also she does have red hair similar to Silver, but that's not necessarily anything concrete, once again, we're at a point where, like, there's a good theory for it, but we don't know. And I'd like to know. I want to know, is Ariana the mother? And if not, who is? Is it just some random NPC we're not supposed to care about? I don't know. This wouldn't be a question for me. I would assume it's a random NPC we're not supposed to care about if it wasn't for the fact that Ariana looks so much like Silver and has those ties to Giovanni. And then we have Eusine, and the thing about Eusine is just kind of, he's just a weird guy, and I don't mean that derogatory, I just mean his introduction to the series was just kind of weird. They just threw him in, so Suicune had a guy giving Suicune backstory and talking about Suicune. That's really it. He's a man of mystery, I feel like, and I'd love to know more about Yusin. I guess this isn't so much of a question as much as it is a mystery. You know, I want more detail on this. Then we also do have one of the biggest characters in the Pokemon franchise is Red. And Red, you actually do meet in the Johto games, whether it's the Gen 2 versions or the remakes they got in Gen 4. You, at the end of the game, when you've beaten the Kanto gyms and everything, you go to Mount Silver, you get to the very top, and there is Red waiting for you, and you battle him. He uses his team, and you defeat him, and he just kind of disappears. He doesn't say anything, you know, he uses his signature, just ... And that's really it. We don't really get story for why he's up at Mount Silver, where he, you know, went when he left Mount Silver. There are some theories that he committed, you know, suicide and jumped off from being defeated by you. I don't think that's true, and frankly, if this game is in the same timeline as Black 2 and White 2, or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, Sun and Moon, then that definitely isn't the case, because Red appears in those games and is much older in Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon. And again, I just don't think Pokemon would get that dark, but it is kind of a mystery of why he was up there in the first place. Does this have to do with him no longer being the champion, right? He's no longer the champion of the Elite Four. We know that Lance is now, so maybe at some point did Lance beat him, and you know, it was kind of the sad moment for Red, and he went to isolation on Mount Silver. I don't know, but I'd like to know. I really would. Then some other characters that I want some more backstory on, or not even backstory, but what happened to them, is Lorelei and Agatha. So the really cool thing about the Johto games is they're set like 2 years after the Kanto games. And what's so cool about that is you see the progression of the Kanto region and its characters, and a lot of people, like I said, you meet Red again, you find out that, yeah, Giovanni's old gym, obviously he no longer runs it, and now Blue is the gym leader of that gym. Koga has become an Elite Four member now, and has entrusted the Fuchsia City gym to Janine, his niece. Yet, two characters that are just missing and we don't really get answers on are Lorelei and Agatha. Lorelei and Agatha were previously Elite Four members in the Gen 1 games, but they are no longer Elite Four members in Gen 2, and we don't really find out why. If I were to provide my own theory for what happened, there is the fact that Agatha is very old. She could have retired. She could have died. I mean, you know, she's a ghost-type trainer, so maybe she became a ghost. But, no, again, I don't think they'd ever say if that's the case, because that's too dark. But there is the question of what happened to Agatha. But with Lorelei, I actually think it's a little more simple. We know that Lorelei has ties to the Sebai Islands. Very likely she retired and just, you know, went to the Sebai Islands to live her life, I guess. But still, it'd be nice, like I said, if they gave us that. They told us that. Like, you just have some dialogue from a guy sitting in Victory Road who's like, you know, used to, there were these two powerful trainers called Lorelei and Agatha. And Lorelei went to the Sebai Islands to start a Pokemon League there. And Agatha retired or died or something, you know? It'd be nice if they gave us some answers to what happened with those two. I really like these characters, so maybe I'm the only one asking for this, but I am. I'm asking for it. Then another thing that isn't so much a question, but I want more answers to, is the Unknown. The Unknown are, to date, the most mysterious Pokemon ever, in my opinion. You know, they're shown to be capable of, like, unlimited power, even though they kind of suck in battle. They have ties to Arceus. They're seen not only in the Johto region, but also in the Tenobi ruins, on Mirage Islands and Hoenn. They're seen in the Selacion ruins, and they are even seen in the Sinjo ruins. So these Unknown are kind of in these very important ancient places, and a lot of them being tied to Arceus and the Creation Trio. I want more on them. I want, like, an official outright game statement of, yeah, the Unknown were, like, the second Pokemon ever made after Arceus, and Arceus used them to make all things. You know, I just want answers. I want answers. These guys are so cool. They have unlimited potential. They're freaking crazy in the anime. They can rewrite reality. They can create, you know, baby Giratinas, Palkias, and Dialgas. It's insane. So I want to know. I want to know what happened with the Unknown and their role in the creation of the Pokemon world, and I want to just find out more about the people who made these ruins, the Ruins of Alph, who also probably did make the Tenobi ruins, the Celestium ruins, the Sinjo ruins. I want to know more. That's all I want, please. So there you have it, guys. Those are my big mysteries from the Johto region that I want answered. Be sure to let me know what your answers to these would be. You know, of course, it's all theory. No one really knows, but, you know, give me your theories in the comments below, as well as ask me the, tell me the questions that you still have after visiting Johto. Let me know all that in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss all of our future videos. And until next time, I will see all of you later.